Tammy,
Hey.
gracious.
Yes, gracious, right? Hey. All right, guys. I think we on. I think we got it. I got to teach my brother about technology, you all. I got to,
Yeah, I'm caveman.
but you're not on camera. What's going
I,
on?
I don't know. I don't get this thing.
Okay. Well, it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Well, we're gonna just go ahead and get started, guys. Thank you all that has joined. We're Let's Talk Trauma. We decided, myself and Tim, we had so much feedback and so many people reaching out to us to do a part two and talk about, black men and trauma, black families with trauma, the community, everything. So Tim, I know you got a lot of people that reached out to you. What were some of the things that people said to you about our last podcast?
Well, man, it was just so much, man. Especially when we were, talking about the trauma, the self trauma.
Right.
You know,
Mm.
that's stuff that we avoid. You know, yeah, it's stuff that we avoid. I mean, it's like nowadays we run from accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah, we run from accountability and we play the blame game.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
we want to blame somebody else for the choices that we made. You know what I'm saying? Some of the choices we want to blame people. It's not our fault. It's always somebody else's fault.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's like like Ty always say, we the first. Our era is like the first generation of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? The
Hmm.
first generation that of computers and stuff. But it's like when we wanted to get out our mama and daddy's house so fast and so quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And change up the rules of everything is that we forgot the foundation and forgot the do's and the don'ts, and it's like gone south right now. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And that was the thing. Like you said, we was in such a rush. We thought that, you know, once I get out of here, I ain't got to do this, I ain't got to do that. But we made it harder on ourselves in actuality. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
If we would have just listened to our parents, I know if I would have listened to Bill, I know a lot of things that I wouldn't have experienced if I would have just listened. If I would have just, slowed down and didn't want to be in a rush, you know, and it's and I see it now as being a mother. My kids, hey, don't just listen to me. I've been there, but again, they don't want to listen because it's like, yo, you don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what I'm experiencing. You just telling me not to do it
Right.
because you're mama. You know what I'm saying? No, I am mama first of all, but I've experienced it. I've experienced it.
Right.
So yeah, and that way we
And you
inflict. Go ahead.
like you was just saying, if we would have listened to our parents, we get this persona or this perception of our parents, and like we were saying last time, to always, tell your kids what you've been through or what you're going through or whatever. Because, I always, my daddy
Oh,
was
you
a
breaking up some. Oh, we lost him. Oh man, fix him. He's in the country. He's in a deep, deep place. But I will say self-inflict trauma. We do. Hey, Gilda. Yes. We're talking about self-inflicted trauma. How we, as teenagers, we inflicted a lot of trauma on ourselves. All right, there you go. Hey,
Yo, this thing here,
it's all
the
right.
enemy, he trying it, but he ain't gonna win tonight.
No power, no authority. No power,
Yeah,
no
he ain't gonna win tonight. But like I was saying, how we was talking last time about how we should always tell our kids the stuff that we was going through. You know
authority.
what I mean? So they can learn it from love and not from hurt, from the streets and stuff.
Right.
Um, but my dad, he tried to do that with me, but my daddy was a preacher, so I was like, man, he ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't listen. Yeah, I didn't listen, but he was trying to tell me things right then, but I took it for granted, Same with my mom, My mama still try to tell me stuff today, and I still be, okay, mom. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They, you know what, Tim? We took it as being controlling. We thought
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to control every step,
Mm-hmm.
every move, everything that we did. But
Facts.
it was really to help us.
Facts.
It was really to help us and to
That's fact.
guide us because they had experienced it and they were
That's
trying to
facts.
prepare us for the world. But
Mm-hmm.
we thought we knew, we thought we were ready for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
that's
thought
facts. Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Grown and
and
smelling ourselves.
absolutely, absolutely. And what happened? What happened?
Went through.
Went through.
Went through a
Exactly.
whole bunch that didn't have to go through.
Right. But yeah, that's how it is. We and trying to tell our kids that these days it makes it a little bit harder because these kids, this generation, our kids had things that we didn't. You know, the cell phones. You know, we didn't have we had beepers. Okay,
Right.
we had the
Right.
pagers. Okay,
Right.
we were making phone calls from the phone booths. Okay,
Facts.
we were making phone calls from the phone booth. You know, so kids, our kids and their kids are growing up in a whole different era that they have too many influences out here. Tell
Way too many.
you know what I'm saying? Telling them that they can do it this way. They don't have to do it this way. They can look like this and this social media thing and television and all this
Mm-hmm.
these reality shows.
Mm-hmm.
They got this generation messed up.
And that's absolutely true, babe, because you think about it. Yo, all these kids want to be is sexy red and little dirt. And I mean, but if we true with it, you know, the artists and everything that was out when we was out, yeah, we was following them. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? We was following them, but I mean, it was to an extent though.
So
You
yeah,
know, it's like we knew they might be talking crazy, and we might be feeling that way, but we might not act out. These kids nowadays are acting it out.
but let me tell you, Tim, we still had some form of fear of our parents.
Facts.
Okay,
That's facts.
that's the difference. We watched the videos and we heard, you know what I'm saying, and we thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
We thought
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
doing it, but we knew the consequences and the
The con-
repercussions. You know what I'm
you
saying?
just said it. You just said it. There's no consequences to these kids' actions nowadays.
Absolutely not.
It's no consequences. And
Yeah,
that's it. That's it, babe. They feel like they can get away with murder.
right. And not understanding because again, watching, and I have to go back to that trauma thing. This these reality TV shows and most of these rappers these days, they all have some form of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That
Mm-hmm.
they're if you look at these reality TV shows, most of these people are they dealing with some type of childhood trauma, some type of trauma that they dealt with in their lives that never got healed. So they're acting out. And I'll take it as a spiritual thing. Some of that stuff can be transferred through the TV through the radio.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Those spirits
Absolutely.
can be transferred. And that's why we have to be very careful when they say guard your ear gates and your eye gates.
That's it.
We have to be very careful of what we watch, what we hear.
That's
Because
facts.
if you
But
have anything that you've dealt with, any type of little small trauma by looking at this stuff on TV and listening to this music, that can actually make it grow, if that makes sense.
it does. And it's that old saying that you are what you eat,
That's
but you are what you see. You are what you hear. You know what I'm saying? And you are what you speak. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I tell my girls all the time, and I tell anybody, watch what you speak out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
That's
The power,
facts.
the power of life and death does lie. If
In the
you
tongue.
and it starts with your heart. It really
Yes.
starts with your heart because what you
Yes.
feel in your heart,
Yes.
you'll start to believe it in your mind.
Yes.
And once you
Yes.
start believing it in your mind, you're going to start speaking it out your mouth.
So now you said that, baby. This is something that I wrote down. Okay.
Oh boy.
So now listen.
Sophia.
so when we power of life and death is in the tongue, right?
Right.
So think about this. So let's say me and you having a conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you say, Tim, how you doing? Yo, I could be at my worst. Okay. I could be at my worst. And I say, oh, I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay. I'm doing all right.
Uh-huh.
Now, yeah, I spoke positivity. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't speak a truth what's going on. Okay? I didn't speak the truth what's going on. So
Uh-huh.
God can't honor no lie. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna honor no lie. So now,
Absolutely.
and when you're saying, okay, yeah, I'm okay, then God be like, oh, you okay?
You okay?
You want to stay right there? You want to
Okay.
be in that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna let you dwell in that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So that's one thing, that self-trauma that we was talking about. Yo, when somebody asks, yo, say how you feel, get that spirit up out of you, get that feeling up out of you. You know what I'm saying? Tell me, I ain't doing too good right now, babe. I'm going through this. It's when, if you cared enough to ask me, then that should be my cue right there to get it up out of me and not let it fester inside, you know?
Absolutely.
And
We
then,
be able to tell people we have to, and this is one thing that I learned going through, seeing my therapist. And it's okay to say you're not okay.
mm-hmm,
It's okay
absolutely.
to say that. It's okay
Mm-hmm,
not to be okay.
mm-hmm,
You have to be honest because there's no way you can deal with your emotions and your feelings unless you're honest about it.
that's it. That's
You
it.
deal with it. And how do you expect for somebody to know how you're feeling? Like you just said, if you're not being honest with yourself and you're not being honest with the person that asks you, how can that person help you? If you
Facts.
Because if, like you said, if you came to me and I said, Tim, how you doing? You be like, I'm all right. And somebody, and then something happens to you, and then somebody said, well, Dad, I ain't know Tim was going through that. And I'd be like, you know what? I just seen it. He told me he was all right. You know?
That's it. And
That's
babe, that and like I said, well, on that part, that's just how I view things, how I view God. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the power of life and death is in the tongue. So you got to speak your truth. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing we've become so fake. You know what I'm saying? We done put these masks on, and we really playing the role of something that we're not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're
right.
playing the role of something we were not. And now I also believe, the word says God will give you the desires of your heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if your heart is wicked,
Mm.
he's going to honor. God can't lie. His word can't lie. His word can't come back false. If your heart is wicked, then he going to honor the wickedness that's in your heart because you have free will. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But
And
now,
he'll allow you to go through it because
that's right.
he's gonna
That's right.
hey, and you know what, Tim? I'm gonna take it back to how we're not being honest and telling people how we feel. I look at it sometimes as we were trained that way growing up. I can say for me, growing up in my grandmother's house, it was always told to us what goes on in this house
Stays in the house.
stays in this house. Okay. So we were trained that way. We were
Trauma.
trauma. Exactly.
Trauma.
Trauma. We were
Yup.
trained not to discuss. If you go to school, don't you tell them school if they ask where you got that whip from, because I know I got plenty of whippings. Okay. Hey, don't you train and actually train to lie. You know what?
Okay.
Manipulate. You know what I'm
Trauma.
saying? Trauma.
Trauma, babe.
People don't understand. People don't realize. That's why it's so important that we have these conversations, because
Right.
look back of our upbringing, and trust me, it's nothing against our families, our elders. It's nothing against them. It's nothing
Right.
against them. But when you know better, you do better, and that's
it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. Yep. But like you said, Tammy, it's time to have those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, I tell my kids, I know I ain't do everything right. You know what I mean? I know I didn't do everything right. And if I confused you in any way or something, let's talk about it. So you can get my view on it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just thinking or assuming how I felt or what I meant. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, what I'm learning, as I call myself a seasoned mom now, something I didn't know as a teenage mom, because it really didn't, communication is a big thing. You have to communicate, you have to sit down and have conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that, we didn't do when I was growing up, have conversations.
That's right.
It was so it was I was taught to but never taught. I was taught at but never taught to, if that makes sense.
You was told what to do and expected to listen.
Right.
That's it.
A conversation, because it was always you have to stay in a child's place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Always stay in a child's place. And so it was never, a child. We couldn't really voice our opinions back then.
You didn't have an opinion.
Absolutely. So, growing up that way, that's how I kind of brought my kids up in an early age. And now looking at it, and like I tell my girls all the time, and I apologize, and I ask them to forgive me, because if I'd known better, I would have done better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I try to teach them now and show them now that we have to communicate. It's all about communication, how we talk to each other, our tones, our body language, everything, our facial expressions. It's the way that we communicate with each other, and the way that we communicate with my grandkids, so it's just a process. But it's untraining yourself. I had to untrain myself.
Yeah.
Let me be honest. I had to untrain myself.
Mm-hmm.
That took a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't understand. That's trauma.
That's trauma.
That's trauma. You have to untrain everything for so many years to, okay, that's not really how it's supposed to go. That's not really.
But see, Tammy, you just said it, babe. The trauma and all these generational curses and everything that we've been through in life, we have to wake up and realize that's not life. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not life. And we need to get help. Real talk, I think everybody should have some type of mental health doctor. You know what I'm saying? And it should be mandatory that you go see them, because speaking for Black people, you feel what I'm saying? We've been through some stuff. You know what I mean?
We've been all our lives, generations after generation, we have that prisoner mentality.
Yes.
And it needs to stop somewhere.
Yes.
It has to stop. Because
Yes.
what I do know is that society and governments and these school boards, they go by what they determine how many new schools they're going to build by
Mm-hmm.
how many our young black boys they in prison.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And and trying to teach our young boys to go the right way and do the right thing. It's hard. It's really because these influences out here, but it's possible. We just can't give up on them. And in so many, people have given up on them so much
Right.
that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what do I have left?
Right.
Nobody cares about me.
Right.
We have to come together and build this generation their hope back. We got to give them hope back because
That's facts.
they don't have it. These kids don't have no hopes. They don't even have no dreams still.
I don't think they know what they are, babe.
Right. They don't. Right. They don't. They are in identity crisis.
That's
And
it.
it's our job. It's time for us, our generation. Let me say this, our generation.
Mm-hmm.
Our generation. It's time for us to stop. It needs to stop right here.
And that's one thing, babe, that Ty Scotty and I talk about a lot is, it's time for us to show these kids what unity and what hope and all that stuff is. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just bickering back and forth at each other and just doing stupid stuff. Okay, so prime example. I don't know if you watched Dreamville over this weekend, but J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar been dissing each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he says the other night, he didn't feel right in his spirit doing that. It made him feel uncomfortable that he wasn't doing the right thing. So basically he squashed it. You know what I'm saying? It's people that's upset with J. Cole
I
because
know.
he did that.
I seen that on Facebook today.
You
I
know,
seen comments
so
about
how
that.
how can we as people be mad at a man that figured out something was going wrong with him and
Right.
making him feel a certain way for him to come out with it and
Right.
release himself from it, and you mad at it
Right.
because he don't want to go back and forth with another man who he's always respected. You know what I'm saying? But I guess he basically just got caught up in the hip hop thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
See, that's the problem right there. If you feel any way negative about what J. Cole did, you the problem.
Right. That stems from, again, hurt people,
That's it.
broken people, not being healed, and people living with unforgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And bitter.
Mm-hmm.
You're angry. What are you angry about?
Right.
Again, that anger came from somewhere. So you got to figure out what you're angry for. And like you said, the young man figured him out. He figured himself out. Do you see what I'm saying?
You
And
figured it out.
to be honest, he probably went to a therapist. He probably went and sat down and talked to
Possibly.
someone. You know what I'm
Possibly.
saying? And figured out that this is nonsense.
Yeah.
You never know.
And see, and that's the problem, Tammy. We always have downed people that have tried to be different. If they're not following the status quo and doing what everybody else is doing, then it's shunned upon. You know what I'm saying? It's shunned upon it. And that's psychosis. That is psychosis. If somebody figures out what's going to work best for them and they do it, and then we down them, that's the psychosis, man.
Right. So we have some comments coming in. We got Scotty up here. We have Nikita. We have Sheba.
Peace. I can't see nothing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go back. We have Victoria up here, and Victoria, Nikita started with, she said, wake up and get help. Um, to reprogram our way of thinking.
Mm.
She said, we can't give up. Victoria said, therapy for mental health is absolutely essential for our well-being as a Black community, which I
Mm-hmm.
agree. Sheba said it doesn't stop until people seek help they need, the help they need. Mentally, people looking for everything outside of them, but it's all inside of you. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows who they are until people won't find out what's in them. Nothing will stop. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um,
Thanks.
Victoria said J. Cole held himself accountable.
Bam.
Yep. Scotty said, because some people like mess. They're happy keeping stuff going. Absolutely. Misery loves company.
Mm.
Yes. Sheba said, not a hospital either for mental health, but individual healers of the community teaching you how to heal yourself. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Sheba said that J. Cole actually meditates.
Good.
It's good. Scotty said our youth need something to do. They don't have outlets like we had. Absolutely not. And when we were going, we had a village. We had villages.
Facts.
We had
Facts.
absolutely villages. Sheba said everyone needs to meditate big time. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree, Sheba. My sister Donna says people do need help, and it's okay to ask for help. Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And Sheba
Mm-hmm.
said we are healers as well, a resource for the community. Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Because once we know, once we are healed, and once we learn the blueprint and learn the ways we healed ourselves, we can heal others. We can help others heal.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
go ahead.
know, one thing, baby, I wish that we could really break is waiting to stuff hit your doorstep. You know what I'm saying? We don't prepare. We don't prepare for nothing. I know it's this saying that uh it says Caucasian people, they prepare, for generations, but Black people prepare for Friday night, you know? So I mean it's true.
Yeah,
We wait until until something hit the steps, hit our doorstep before we want to do something, you know?
yeah.
And I mean, what can we do to break that? Yeah, what can we break that
Again,
monotony right there?
again, Tim, that is that growing up, that trauma of don't tell what's going on in this house
Mm-hmm.
until you just can't handle it no more.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it is. We grew up in that era where we don't tell nobody our business. Well, my house is that's my business. And so until you can't handle your own business no more, now you need help. But it has gotten out of control. It has gotten out of control. You know what I'm saying? Your business. They want your business. Let's just keep it real. Because you didn't want your business told. Now you can't even handle your own business.
Yeah, and it's okay. So let's talk about this because I don't think nobody's ever talked about this. I mean, it might have been mentioned, but I don't think it's ever been truly talked about. And this is just my feelings. Hate me or love me for it, all right? But I think people got insurance on their phones, right? They got insurance on their phones, right?
Absolutely.
Got
Absolutely.
insurance on their cars. You
Insurance.
feel what I'm saying?
Insurance.
Yo,
Mm-hmm.
but no life insurance, right?
Whole life.
No life insurance. Yo, I know it's a touchy subject. Nobody wants to think about dying, but it's gonna happen. Okay? It's gonna
Absolutely.
happen. All right.
Absolutely.
So now let me speak for me. Okay. So, like when my father passed, right? So I had just switched over his insurance policy, right? I,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally just switched over his insurance policy. So the policy wasn't going to pay it because, I just got it. You feel what I'm saying? I put myself in the hospital twice. You feel what I'm saying? Trying to figure out how I was going to get this funeral taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we got to understand, when you don't have insurance and you pass, you are your family's already stressing that you're gone. Now you didn't put this on top of them too.
Bigger burden. Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
A bigger burden.
I mean, come on, man. We got to do better. We got to do better. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have any illnesses or nothing like that, this stuff insurance is mad cheap.
It is.
It's mad cheap. And like I said, hate me or love me, but this is how I feel. If you leave your family in that situation like that, you basically saying F your family.
Right. Because having insurance, um, people don't realize, and black people really don't realize it, that that's building finance, that's helping build financial wealth for your family.
Absolutely.
You know, and
Absolutely.
that's relieving a burden because some insurance companies will actually, if you do it the right way, if you set your policy up the right way. So my policy, let me just use me for an example.
Mm.
My kids don't have nothing to worry about.
God be the glory.
Everything is taken care of. All they have to do is sit down and write their mama obituary, which they ain't even gonna have to worry about that because I don't wrote my own obituary. Okay, okay. And I say that I haven't written it literally, but the life I lived, I wrote
Okay.
my own obituary. So
Okay.
you ain't got to put me on paper. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? You don't need unless you want it,
Okay.
my life will speak for me. And
Okay.
that's just how I feel about it.
Absolutely.
I feel that my life I've done my share of bad.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Mm-hmm.
done my share of good. And I
Mm-hmm.
would like to think I've done more good and I've done bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But and babe, just think about this. Like I said, I don't think this has ever been a conversation of people, but this is stuff that go through my head. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, at the funerals, right? I'm gonna say 8 times out of 10, we eating what probably put the person in the damn grave in the first place at the funeral.
Hmm.
I mean, do you think this is psychosis of the life that we live and the things that we do, thinking that it's life, that is the right way to live?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
But again, we have to untrain some of those. Let me see. I'm gonna use the right word. I'm gonna use the right word because I don't want to offend nobody. But we have to untrain those things that we grew up knowing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And what we were taught, those unhealthy behaviors. Let me just say that.
There we go.
Let me just because I want to find the right words. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Not
it.
like the unhealthy behaviors. Because again, when you know better, you do better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we let's be honest. We were taught most of this stuff, but we won't taught all of it. Do you see what I'm saying? Some stuff we had to learn on our own.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And most of we learned the hard way, but we learned it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Being hard headed, being stubborn,
Mm-hmm.
being rebellious. But the older we get, we see that, hey, you know what? My, they didn't have to go through my granddad and my mom. They didn't have to go through that. It could have been like this. You know what I'm saying? So we're learning. So it takes one. We have to teach one. You know what I'm saying? To reach one,
Mm-hmm.
we have to be able to teach and educate. You know what I'm saying? We're learning. We have the resources. You know what I'm saying? We have the resources. You just got to know where to go and know who to talk to. But it's not hard. People make it hard.
Facts.
People make it hard.
Facts.
Not hard at all. And then sometimes I just feel people got the lazy syndrome, just don't want to do it. They want things to fall in their lap. It's not.
That's facts.
It's not gonna fall in your lap. You got to put some work behind it.
That's facts.
You
That
know,
is facts.
we just got to keep teaching and keep, and it's like we may not reach everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We're not gonna reach everybody, but if we can start instilling into our kids, their kids, other folks' kids, like I said, that village, if we become that village, and if people remove self and stop being so self wants, gratification for what they're doing and think
Mhm.
about somebody, stop being selfish and think about somebody else, we can all come together.
Mhm.
The Caucasians do it all the time.
Babe,
The
now
Indians, the Indians do it. The
right. I'm
The
the
Africans do it.
right, right.
The
Now I'm the
Mexicans do it.
furthest thing from a racist. You know what I'm saying?
Me
But
too.
what I know and understand is that other races take care of each other. Babe, if you pay attention to the Hispanics, right? Yo, if you at a store and one of them is in front of you and they don't speak English and it's another one behind you or something and the other one behind you sees it, they coming to help him.
Absolutely.
They're coming to help him. Us, we be sitting.
Oh my God, I wish you would hurry up. What you saying?
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yes. Mhm.
That's our mentality. They winning right now. And you know why the Hispanics is winning? Yo, because they have unity. You
Right.
feel me? Yo, so I had this real good friend who passed away, God bless his soul. He was Hispanic. And he said, Tim, he said, you black people are smart, but you also stupid. And I said, okay, what you mean? He was like, so we basically took y'all's blueprint of how y'all always formed together, how y'all was always together to get by. We took that from y'all. Y'all start things and you don't even use it because you think it's beneath you. Because
Mm.
you think it's beneath you. I was like, wow, that makes sense. Because, babe, listen, when me and wife had an apartment, we had some Hispanic neighbors that was right beside us. It was 4 families in a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay. But now when they went to the grocery store and they had 4 F-150s, every time they went to that store, every one of the F-150s was full of groceries. You feel me? And what they did was they was pooling their money together. The first people that got there, they got them a house. Okay? Then they moved another family in. The second family that came there, they pooled their money together, got them a house. It was like a transition house. They was just like pooling their money together and then lifting the one up, lifting the other one up.
Right. But Tim, you know what it is, and this is another thing with us. We don't. It's a envious, jealous type of thing. Don't want to see the next one doing better than what or have more. You know what I'm saying? And don't want to help. But guess what? We all can get there. You
That's
know what I'm saying?
facts.
We can all get there. And
That's
there's nothing.
facts.
Look at it. I'm gonna take it back to to the Underground Railroad. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What did they do? What did they
Mm-hmm.
do? They didn't leave nobody behind.
Nobody left behind. Yep.
Nobody left behind.
That's right. That's
They,
right.
you know what I'm saying? They made sure that they grabbed hold to the next person. One person grabbed another. You know what I'm saying? We going together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's
But
and babe, and like I said, the Hispanics they killing it. So I know a majority of us eat Chinese food, right? Majority of us eat Chinese food. You got your favorite Chinese spot you go to, right?
well,
I
I
want
don't.
y'all to. I want
I've
you
got.
to. I want you to start paying attention to something. Yo, I want you to pay attention to the people that's in the that's in the Chinese restaurant for 6 months. Okay, after 6 months, you don't see the same people in there
Because they don't
because
went
they
at another restaurant.
They
They don't
train
know.
them and open more stores, babe.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
Oh, I know. I noticed that a long time ago because I'd be when this I'm like, wait a minute, you was just over here. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Babe, listen, with the Indians and the hotels and the gas stations, they do the same thing, babe. The
yeah. Absolutely.
same thing.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. I worked when I don't know if you remember when I worked at Texaco.
I do.
Okay. When I worked at Texaco, my boss, his name is Nami. I never forget Nami. Nami was a blessing. I loved him. He was a very good man. Still is. Nami brought Texaco. He brought the store on Garner Road down
Mm-hmm.
there by down there, you know what I'm talking about it. By
Mm-hmm.
Big Hills. He
Right.
brought the one over here on Wilmington Street.
Okay.
He had about 4 or 5 different stores, right? And I had the opportunity to work at all of them. But what he was doing, he was building up store. He was buying the stores, but he was bringing his people in, getting them prepared, then giving them a store. You know, not really giving it to them. They give him the and this is theirs. You know what I'm saying? Nanami is sitting somewhere retired,
Right.
living the best life
Right.
because you know
Right.
he knew how to do it.
Right.
And that's what they do for each other. I don't
Right.
understand why it's so hard for us black people to get. And I tell you, that's why. And I looked at something today on a TikTok, and Farrakhan was on there, and the white lady said that she feared black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said the only reason why you fear black people is because you're scared that we're gonna come back and do what y'all have done for us for thousands of years.
Bam.
You know what I'm saying? You think that we're gonna come back
Bam.
to y'all because you all when you see a black person, you think of violence. Listen, we didn't come, y'all made us violent. You know what I'm saying? We're not violent people by habit. Y'all made us violent. We go into survival mode.
Okay.
And he told her, he said, that's why you're scared of us. You're really scared that we're just gonna come back and do to y'all what y'all done to us for
Mm-hmm.
thousands of years. So that I was like, that's deep. You know, I never
Deep.
thought of it like, you know what I'm saying? And
Deep.
in numbers, white people are really scared of us. They fear us because they know if we are one of the strongest, smartest, talented races out here, gifted races out here. There's nothing that we can't do if we set our mind to it.
That's facts. I agree, babe.
But
But you know,
we get so caught up in a dollar. You know, I know many. Let me just say this: I know many families that have had land growing up. I'm talking about
okay.
acres and acres of land. Black families, that because the families couldn't get together and stay together and keep the land, or one gonna get more, one gonna they lost the land or sold the land. That's generational. That's generational health. I mean, wealth right there. That's financial wealth right there.
That's facts. That's facts, babe. But you know, whenever we start to do stuff like that, we got to tear you down.
Right,
We got
right.
to tear you down because you not fitting the status quo. We supposed to be in survival mode all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And once somebody get out of survival mode, we got to tear you down.
Right.
Yep, we got to tear you down.
Talk about you, belittle you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No. And see, that's what the other races count on for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right? They count on that for us. They if I can get this person to mess up or look like they done something wrong, I can turn that person against them. And then we can counter, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go over here and counteract on them. We're gonna come up with our plan over here to take over. And that's exactly what they do.
And that's the sad part, babe, is that that's happening, but it's nobody's fault but ours.
But ours.
Because we allow it to happen, you know? And now listen, I ain't taking up for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking up for nobody, but I'm also saying ain't nobody perfect, okay? You see how everybody loved R. Kelly? They loved R. Kelly. You see
Now what
how
they
they love P. Diddy? How they
mm-hmm.
love P. Diddy at certain time.
How they love Bishop Jakes.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? How they loved him so much, but then they heard one thing. But listen to what I just said. They
Heard.
heard one thing. You was not there when it happened. You didn't see it for yourself. You heard something. Okay. And somebody's got this idea of how he did this and how he did that. And we tearing each other down.
And
We
that's
tearing them down. And we don't even know if it happened or not, babe.
right. Don't know if it's no truth to it. What and seeing the thing of it is, and see, I'm gonna stop watching so many law shows one day. One day I'm gonna but I'm just me. But let me tell you something. If we have to look like, we are very intelligent and smart people.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, if we weren't there, we don't know. But and people, these scientists and they got all these people that can kind of, manipulate stuff and make
Mm-hmm.
stuff look, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they can make a document look like they can do anything they want to make a person look guilty.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. That's
And
right.
because we ain't got no, because they know we ain't got no more common sense but to believe what they say, we're gonna take it and run with it. You know what I'm saying? So, and it may not, they could have doctored up a document, they could have doctored up anything, they could have got somebody, they could have paid somebody to lie, they could have done all that, Tim. We don't know, but we are so quick to jump on the bandwagon.
The bandwagon.
When it's something negative, we're gonna always jump for that negative. But when a person doing good,
Own it.
what you hear? What do you hear about that person when they're doing good? Just as soon as you hear something negative, oh my God, it's in all 50 states before 2:00.
Before 2:00, babe. Before 1:59.
Okay. Before I can get my foot in the shower good, it's already across the nation.
But now listen. Pay attention to something now, though. Since we talking about how other races act, right? Do you hear other races tearing each other down like we do?
Absolutely not.
Do you hear other races tearing each other down like we do?
Absolutely.
When have you ever heard of Van Halen dissing Motley Crue?
Absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying? You ever heard of any of the country artists dissing each other?
No. And you
having battles against each other and stuff like that?
You ain't.
Come on, y'all, pay attention to what's going on, what we doing to ourselves.
And the thing of it is, I'm gonna just take it one little deeper. And I know a few, work with a few people that are not Trump supporters, but you don't hear them saying nothing bad, knowing he evil, knowing he ain't right, knowing they know it. But they don't mumble a one word about him. They don't tear him down worth nothing.
No, not whatsoever. And the thing is, like you said, they could know he in the wrong.
Absolutely.
They can know he in the wrong. Absolutely. But they will not do that, babe.
They will not do it for nothing in this world. Nothing. But us colored folks,
boy.
They can take a check to the bank and cash it real quick on us because they know what we gonna do. As soon as we get just a little, all you got to do is give them this, and they gonna run with it.
Yo, let me tell you something. When the government put out them stimulus checks, they was the smartest niggas in the world to do that because they knew that money was coming right back to them.
Absolutely.
It looks like we doing something for our people, but they knew that money was coming right back to them.
Right back.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we some special people, man. I'm telling you. We some real special people, man. We got to wake up and realize what's going on and what we doing to ourselves.
Right.
To ourselves. Babe, so I was watching I was watching this documentary on the Klan, right? On the Ku Klux Klan. And the head wizard was like, and this was what's this 24? So this was 22. Yeah, 22. And he was like, we used to march and be out in the public all the time. He was like, nah, we don't do that anymore. He was like, y'all doing the job for us. He said, y'all doing it for us. Y'all killing yourselves. Why do we need to get our hands dirty? Y'all doing it for us. So the only thing we do now, we invest in all the things that you like. They invest in everything that we like.
Absolutely.
Yo, we're doing it to ourselves.
Right.
To ourselves. Yo, did you hear what I just said? The Klan don't even they just invest.
They don't have to. Like you said, we're doing it too. We're killing ourselves off. All they got to do is sit back because they just know
sit back and get wealthy. Sit back and get wealthier.
They getting richer off of our foolishness, off of our ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Because it's straight ignorance. And that's Tim, and that's why I'm so big on trying to teach these kids that the gifts that you have, the gift is here in between here and here. It's here and here. Do you hear me? All you got to do is tap into it. And all they need is someone to pour into them. I work with some of the most talented youth.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But they're broken. And sometimes it's not, and I have to say it's not even something that happened at home. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's happened at school, with friends, or just society, period.
Absolutely.
And so we got to get back again. I can't stress this enough. We got to get back to having villages for these children.
Absolutely.
That's why I can't never make it over there on Tuesday nights, but I love what you, Scotty, and Ty are doing over there.
God be the glory. God be the glory.
These kids, they got to have a place. They got to have a safe space. They got to have.
See, what you were saying earlier, Tammy, us growing up, we were told and expected. You feel what I'm saying?
Go.
We can't do that with these kids. We have to allow them to speak. We have to allow them to be heard. We have to allow them to ask questions. Okay, so we can lead them in the right direction. I ain't saying what me, Ty, and Scotty doing is the cure, but what we're doing is we're giving them an avenue to where they can speak. We try to give them the wisdom, but then it's still up to them to make the decision. It's still up to them to make the decision, but we got to give them that.
And Scotty said, we as adults have to be the first to do it. Absolutely.
Scotty B.
We have to set the example. And that's the thing. It goes back to how can you lead? And I say this, how can you lead? How can you set an example if you telling kids they got to come together? They got to, work things out. They got to, but they see you tearing down.
Acting a monkey.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You can't do that. You have to show, if you're going, let me tell you something. And my pastor, my first lady, they have taught me so much, and I thank God for them. But if you're going to walk the walk, you better show enough talk the talk. If you're going to talk the talk, you better show enough walk the walk. You know what I'm saying? You better do it. Because these kids are watching. And the first time, and we can't leave room for error or mistakes. Yes, we are human. We are human. Yes, we're going to make mistakes.
That's facts.
When we make that mistake, we have to go back and we have to take accountability for that mistake. And we have to acknowledge that, yes, I made that mistake.
That's right.
Mistake, I made it. We have to own that.
That's right.
We can't sit there and pretend. We can't sit there and, oh, no, you know what I'm saying? No. These kids are watching.
And you know one thing, Tammy. So I always say this. I say we got to be examples for these kids to win, and not excuses for them to lose. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's like the main thing. And one thing we do, babe, anybody at like our team talks, anybody that we mentor in the schools or anybody we come across, period, we don't sugarcoat nothing. That's the problem. We have sugarcoated stuff for too long. Too long. And this is the outcome of sugarcoating stuff.
Right. And again, I'm so big on accountability.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so
Absolutely.
big on accountability. You have to take accountability for your actions, the way you react, the way you do things. And I tell people all the time, I have, sometimes I have to call somebody and vent to. I have a person that I call and vent to, before, so I can get it all off of me before, you know what I'm saying? Get it all off of me before I present myself to the situation, and I say that because people are not going to see, and I tell people this all the time, because people always watching, people watching us regardless, but people not going to see what a person's done to you. Okay, they're going to only see your reaction to it.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So we have to be very careful on how we react to things.
Absolutely.
And even if it did take us there, you know what I'm saying? We can't react that way.
Absolutely.
They're watching us. So we have to teach them the tools of how to react, even if you can't get along with a person, but you can work with a person and not like them to get the common goal done. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
We have to teach people that. We have to teach these kids that. You may not like this person, you may not care for this person, but guess what? Y'all got this in common. And if you do it this way, if y'all come together and do this, this is the outcome. And this is what can happen. We have to teach them that.
And Tammy, and it can be done, and it's so simple. Okay, it's so simple. But like you were saying earlier, we making life as harder than what it really is. Like we always tell the kids, just because somebody calls you out your name, right, does not give you the go to do something to them. In actuality, if somebody calls you out your name and you do something, you actually answering to what they called you.
Listen, and you're becoming that.
You know what I'm saying?
You're taking on that identity. Let me tell you something, Tim. And maturity will teach you something. When you grow,
yes,
will teach you something. And growing, and me and my girls, hey, we grew. We would always say, "Hey, B, what's up,
right.
B?" You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We did it.
Right.
But and in a way, we took on that identity. You know what I'm saying? We took on that identity of being a B. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's not a good identity.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
So we have to watch what we call each other, like you said, and what we know. We have to watch what we answer to.
What we answer, babe. That's what people got to understand. It's gonna be oppositions that's gonna come to you in life, period, until you leave here. It's your reaction to it. Your reaction to it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, basically, when you react to something like that, you're basically saying you don't care. You don't care about your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, your mama, or everything like that. That's going to be hurting from you going away and being away from them, or possibly getting killed yourself over something like that. It's like conflict resolution. We have none of. It's just be on the go. Be on the go. And we have to learn how to try to keep our frustrations down, and not just react because we're upset. That does not give you the reason to go off on somebody. And I tell people this, they think I'm crazy, but when somebody, if somebody of another race call me a nigga, I laugh. It's funny. You know what I'm saying? It's funny to me because if you think about it, you could be arguing with somebody from another race, right? And then, it just gets to the point where they can't say nothing else but call you a nigga, right? Yo, they have nothing else. Okay,
That's
now they're expecting you to act a nigga,
right.
ignorant. You know
And
what I'm
that's
saying? Yo, you
power.
can't let words affect you. You can't let words affect you like that. And us listening to this dumb stuff of this world, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Okay, that's some of the dumbest stuff in the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it hurts. It's gonna hurt. But your reaction, how you react to it, is the main focus. You know, we're just so caught up in these worldly ways. And like I always say, how can we heal from this world with worldly tactics when it was built on spiritual principles? If you going away from the word and you let the world rule you, you got your results already. You know what I'm saying? You got your results already.
Right. And that's the thing. We give people too much, and that's what I tell my children, stop giving people your power.
Okay.
Just because somebody says something to you or called you a name, or you ain't got to react to that.
You
Because
answering to it.
once you answer to it or react to it, you done gave them your power.
That's it.
And they know that you don't get turned over their power. So they're gonna keep right on.
That's it.
And that's the thing I want people. And I'm just gonna say females. I just got to talk to my females. Females, we have the power. Okay.
Yes, you do.
We have power. And the fact of the matter is, we have the power to shut things down. We have the power to make things happen. Okay. It's all on how we do things and how we perceive things. Okay. So just because somebody said, "Oh, I seen blah blah blah," she did da 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 da, let people talk. Let them talk. Because guess what? If they talking about you, they thought enough about you to have a conversation. They had you on their mind. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. That's facts.
So that means you're worth something. You got some type of worth right there because they're thinking about you, because they're talking about you.
That's facts.
So guess what? Keep adding to your worth by ignoring them. Okay?
That's facts. And Tammy, I want to expound on something since you just said it, okay? Yo, you women do have the power, okay? These men, it's going to take y'all putting y'all foot down to get them in the right direction, okay? To at least turn to the right from the left, okay? So, like, when it's positive stuff that's going on, you know what I'm saying? Not just the stuff that we do. Anybody, if anybody's doing something positive and it's male oriented, yo, you women got to put your foot down and make sure that y'all getting these men to go to this stuff, okay? To get them to start thinking different, to change their mindset. And you know you can do it. You know you can do it. Y'all have the strength and the power to make something like that happen. Now, sometimes, a man know right. A man know right from wrong. But sometimes we can get out of the perspective of the right things. You feel what I'm saying? And a strong woman, that's your job, is to put them back into perspective.
Right.
So, we calling on y'all women to do that.
And you know what, Tim? And you right. And the Bible says iron sharpens iron. And that's for men and women.
Basic, yes, absolutely.
That's men and women. Because women, we have to, as women, and I say this, as women, we love affirmations. I know I do. I love to be affirmed. You know what I'm saying? I love to be affirmed, but I first affirm myself before. You know what I'm saying? But men look for affirmations too. They look to be affirmed too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Men, women, we got to stop tearing the men down. That's the problem.
Absolutely.
That's a problem. Because us black women, and I can say it, us black women, and I might step on some toes and offend somebody here, but it's okay. It's okay. We got to stop tearing our brothers down. We got to start
Absolutely.
building our black men up. You know what I'm saying? If our
Hmm.
black men say, you know what, I want to do this, and if we thinking to ourselves, oh, that's really impossible. You know what I'm saying? Because you know,
Hmm.
hey, we don't say it out loud, and definitely don't say it to them.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Go ahead and say, well, you know what? Go for it. What do
Hmm.
you need? You know what I'm saying? What is your plan? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? What have you took the steps? Have you started doing the steps? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You have to have a conversation, build that man up. And if
Hmm.
it don't succeed, if he don't succeed, don't say I told you so.
But
Or
you did your part.
right, you know what I'm saying? Don't you know what I'm saying? Don't sit there and say, well, I told you so. I ain't never believe in it anyway. I do it
Hmm.
wrong. Don't do that.
And Tammy, you know what's one of the worst thing for a man that's trying? For a man that's trying, babe, to get knocked down like that, yeah, that's the worst thing you could ever do to a man. You
Right,
know, if he's trying,
right.
if he on the path and trying to make steps, yeah, he's still gonna have the hurdles and everything, trying to make him go back the other way. But yo, if you can get behind that man and babe, I know you're going through this, you're doing that, keep going. That
Right,
positive influence, you know what
right,
I'm saying? Instead of, oh, you doing this, but you ain't really doing what you supposed. You know what I'm saying? I
right.
mean,
And just
that's
ask them.
just
And
that tears a man that's on the right track. Like, man, I was doing better when I was out doing the dumb stuff.
no,
You know,
just ask, what can I do to help? You know what
that's
I'm
it,
saying?
babe.
What
That's
can
it.
I do to help you?
That's it,
And another thing, stop nagging the brothers, sisters. Stop nagging them. You know
babe.
what I'm saying? Stop.
Yo,
And I'm gonna say I'm a single woman. I am, but I've been in some. I've had my share of relationships, but I have a lot of married friends. Okay,
hmm,
and I have a lot of
hmm,
friends in relationships,
hmm,
and me being a life coach and me watching and I'm, I picked up on certain things, and I know because I've asked God and I prayed for a husband. I know he coming. You know what I'm saying? I know he's gonna find me. I
that's
know
right.
he'll find me.
Claim it's already done.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So I evaluate every relationship and I look at things and I what I don't want to be, because I prayed and asked God to work on me to prepare me to be a wife. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, and it took a good guy friend for me to say that, because I was like, hey, I'm asking God for this and that, then for a husband. He said, but Tammy, are you wife material? You asking God,
Mm,
but are you wife material? He made me think about
mm.
that thing, Tim. You know
Okay.
what I'm
Okay.
saying? I had to, God prepare me, get me ready. So,
Okay.
but I said to say that because I evaluate, my friends, everybody I'm around, and I have some friends that nag their husbands. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I have some friends that I know their husbands have stepped outside because of the nagging. They don't found them comfort somewhere else. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And we got to stop that. And you wonder why your man is gone over here, and he ain't got to necessarily be cheating. It could be just emotional. Do you see what I'm saying? It could be emotional. He just needed an emotional break. It don't always have to be physical. It could be emotional, or just never wanting to come home. Why you always at the best? Why you always here? You always with your boy. He don't want to come home because excuse me, you done nag the hell out of him. He don't want to come home. So yeah. So I'm
Now,
praying to God that he work on.
yeah, so now I ain't taking away from nobody doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Man, we gotta be accountable for our actions, period. But you know what you was just saying though, yo, it's rough being a man, yo. You know what I'm saying? Especially a black man. It's rough. The stuff that we got to deal with. And you know, when you done dealt with a whole bunch of mess throughout the day, yo, when you come home, you want to come home to comfort and peace.
Peace.
You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? You want to come home to comfort and peace. So,
Right.
we've been playing this cat and dog games, men versus women forever. Yo, it's time for us to kill that mess, man.
Absolutely. We
Yeah,
need to,
it's
and
time
that's
for us to
the thing.
kill that mess, man.
And that's why the enemy fights families so hard,
So
Tim.
hard. So
especially
hard.
especially a two-parent. It's already bad enough for a single mom. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And trying
Yes.
to co-parent,
Yes.
but a two-parent home, the enemy try to attack and destroy that family real quick. You know
Real
what
quick.
I'm saying? Because a man, a husband, and a wife, a father and a mother together raising their children, a power couple, they ain't no telling where those kids could go. Ain't no telling where that marriage could go. Ain't no telling where that family could go. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
That's
And that's
facts.
what the enemy fights so hard on families.
That's facts.
I can get the wife and the husband to separate. They're not going to be focused on the children. They're going to be focused on themselves.
That's
You know what I'm
facts.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be too
So
busy focused on themselves. I can attack the children.
right. Right. And see, Tammy, now I posted this the other day. I was like, people spend bands on the wedding, right? Spend bands on the wedding, but won't spend $1 on the marriage.
I seen that, and that was good. That was good.
Yo, so it's crazy, man. You know, why you gonna put all this money into the beginning, but you ain't gonna put money into something trying to keep it together, you know?
Right.
And you
Right.
know, I believe, babe, you know, when people get married nowadays, you know, they go to churches and, you know, they have the preacher preach it and all that stuff. Yo, they leave God right on the doorstep.
Absolutely.
They leave
Absolutely.
God right on the doorstep when they leaving out of leaving out of the wedding. You know what I'm saying?
We got to, and that's another thing, Tim. Whether married or not, single, it doesn't matter. We got to keep God at the head. I mean, right
It's a
at the
must.
forefront. I
It's a
mean, right
must.
at the forefront of
It's a
everything.
must.
Okay. And
It's a
that's what
must.
because people think they surviving off their own strength. You're not surviving off of your strength, honey.
That is.
Okay. You're
That's
surviving
it.
off the grace and mercy of God. And we got
That's
to
it.
keep God at the forefront of everything.
That's it.
Everything that we do, we got to make
That's it.
sure God, hey, we got to make sure we got God's approval, God's
That's it.
seal. Because if we don't, it's not going to prosper.
It's not going to prosper. And see, Tammy, what you just said is just so key in life, period. Even in the relationships, even in your life at your work, your business, your relationships with other people. You know, we so focused on getting a bag. See, everybody say, well, man, I hustled, I've done this, I've done that, you know, and you've dealt with so many consequences from that hustling. But if you work to prosper, if you live to prosper, you will get so much further in life and it will be less stressful. I don't talk about no hustle, nothing. You feel what I'm saying? God put me in position to prosper. You hear me? Put me in position to prosper.
When you put God, let me just say another, because I hear people say, I'm out here hustling. When you put God first, when you put God first, you ain't got to hustle.
You ain't got to.
You ain't got to hustle.
You ain't
You
got
ain't got to be trying to think of these quick what is it called? Get rich quick
schemes.
You ain't got to do all that.
That's facts.
Once you put God first, God is going to equip. He has already equipped us with everything we have. God has created us.
That's
we all
it.
have at least. My pastor said on Sunday, we all have at least one gift.
Okay.
Some of us have multiple gifts.
Okay.
But we have at least one gift. And if we put God first and we seek God and ask God and consult with God on what he wants us to do, what is his will, honey, oh my God, you ain't even got to hustle, because that one little gig that you got, that one little job that you got will prosper. You hear what I'm saying?
Prosper you.
The word says your gifts will make room for you.
Will make room for you.
Ain't nowhere in the Bible, and I want somebody to please find it, because if you find it, send it to me, where it says God said we got to hustle.
And Tammy, let me say this, because you know, a lot of people know that they need to trust in God more. You know what I'm saying? They know they need to trust in God more. And their excuse is, well, once I get myself situated in here, I'll get right with God. once I do this, then I'll get right with God. Well, basically, what you're saying right there is that God can't handle what you're going through right now. You're saying that you're stronger than God when you're making that excuse right there. So I mean, come on
Listen,
now.
let me tell you something. And I wish I would have known a long time ago. Because I used to say that I got to get myself together before I go back to church. I got to do this. I got to get it. But if God can use David, God can use Peter. Okay. God used all of them. Okay. Many more. Okay. In they miss. I'm talking about in they miss. Cutting up. I mean, cutting all the way up. Because if I ain't mistaken, David was adulterer. Okay. David loved it. David loved it.
Speak.
David was a murderer as well. Okay. All right. But what did God do? God used David mightily. Okay. So if God can use David, if God can take David in his mess and transform him, he can transform us. That's what God wants us in our mess. Come to him in our mess, because when he cleans us up, we can go out and testify to the other folks out there.
That's it. God doesn't call the approved. He approves those he calls.
Absolutely. And that's why you try to get people to understand that you ain't got. First of all, you ain't got to be perfect. Let me tell you something. You ain't got to be perfect. Because once you're perfect and you don't got, it's time. Hey, ain't no more use for you.
That's it.
Ain't no more use for you. He ain't got no use for you. He got use for you when you in your mess.
It is.
He can use you right there in your mess. He can take that mess.
Yes.
And turn it into a message.
Yes, babe. Like you just said, every one of the disciples had issues. None of them were perfect.
None of
them were perfect.
Messy.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, babe, we lived a life like the Sadducees and the Pharisees. So like, when we know the rules, but we don't live by regulations.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? So like, when they was confronting the girl and, Jesus said, he who without sin cast the first stone.
Uh-huh.
It should have been stones flying everywhere.
Everywhere. Okay, it should have been a stone left on the ground. Do you hear me?
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. People say, oh, I can't go to church because I went out last night. I was doing this last night. I did that. That's okay. That's what God wants. Because there might be no one when you walk in that church. You know what I'm saying? God gonna turn it around for you. We got to stop running and stop making excuses.
Right.
We got to stop making excuses.
That's facts, baby.
We all know that we have a purpose. We were all born with a purpose.
That's facts.
All we have to do, I don't know why people are so afraid of God. They don't want to do what he has called us to do. They're afraid, but you ain't afraid of the devil. That's what I don't understand.
You know why? You know why? Because coming to God, babe, is this thing that we talked about earlier. It's called accountability. My
cousin just said, I love my cousin. My cousin just said, be in church smelling like weed. LOL. That's right. Come in there smelling like weed, alcohol, everything. Hey, yeah, it's all right. Because guess what? I done seen it happen. I done seen, because God said he can perform miracles, signs, and wonders.
Right.
Seen it.
Right.
I've seen alcoholics come in the
right.
church.
Right.
God turned them around.
Yes, right then. Right then. Right then. Yes, babe.
You know what? Babe. The woman with the issue of blood.
Come on now. Just a touch.
Okay. The woman, the no-name woman, the woman that
didn't have a name.
The woman that didn't have no name in the Bible. What did he do for her? Okay.
Teach.
Come on now.
Teach.
We got to look back.
Teach.
If he can do it for them, he surely can do it for us.
And then Tammy, babe, a lot of us know the word. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us know the word or know of the word. But the thing is, with the accountability, they don't apply it.
And that's
okay. They don't apply it, babe. And then we'll take a certain part of a scripture, you know what I'm saying, and just hone on to that and not going on to the whole thing. You know what I mean?
And
so
use it to fit us in the mess that we're in.
Bam. So, babe, one that I really have paid attention to lately is, to have the faith of a mustard seed, right? They said, so it says, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains, right? Absolutely. But nobody ever talks about the phrase after that. It says, if you have faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains, but you can also tell the mountain where to go.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. And this is so funny that we talking about this. And I'm gonna tell you how the power that God has given us, okay, to speak to those things, okay? And they have to obey us. Those things have to obey us. Okay?
Yes.
This morning I got up and I started walking because I anoint my house every so often.
Okay.
I walk through my house, I anoint my house, and I pray over my house. So this morning I started praying and walking through my house, and my head started hurting real bad, like right here, and running down my neck. Right? I said, okay. I said, "Now, devil, you want me to stop this prayer? Because I'm casting you out of here. Whatever done entered here ain't supposed to be here. You about to get up out of here. Okay?" So, Tim, I said, right, I took my oil. I said, not so. And I rubbed my head. Went back to praying. That headache just went on by his business.
Went on by the business.
I finished up my prayer, finished anointing because you gonna get up out of here.
Babe, so since we talking about stuff like that, so the enemy attacks me at night sometimes because I'm claustrophobic. Okay. So sometimes I wake up and I feel like the ceiling and the walls is coming down on me. You know what I'm saying? And I had sometimes, babe, I was letting it get the best of me, and I have to go outside. It'd be 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I'd be outside of my house. You know what I mean? Thinking like, what the hell is going on with me? So I had to figure out what was going on. The enemy was attacking me. So I get to praying and get to talking against him. Like, look, man, I'm at my house, my home. You are not gonna make me feel uncomfortable here. God, I need you to take care of this right now for me. I trust in you. I trust in you. I believe in you. The devil works for us. I don't work for him. You got to go. And next thing you know, I'm snoring. You know what I mean? So we got to understand what's going on around us and get to praying.
Right.
Get to using the word. The word works for those who work it.
Absolutely. We have the power. And that's what I want us Black people to understand, that we have the power. God has given us the power. We just got to tap into it, and we got to believe. And when you speak it, you got to believe it.
Got to believe it, baby.
With authority.
Got to believe it.
Don't be around with these. I call them the little patty cake prayers and the patty cake stuff. Don't be doing all that. I ain't studying that. Speak that thing with power and conviction. You know what I'm saying? Speak it as that song say. I told my storm it had to go.
Had to go.
You
got to go.
Absolutely not. Now we're gonna go through. We're gonna go through trials. We're gonna go through, because that's the only way God gonna get the glory. If we're not tested, we can't have a testimony.
And babe,
we're gonna be tested, but it's how we go through. It's how we go through.
Yes.
And how we address and handle those storms and those tests when they come.
That's facts.
Because all you got to do is say, Father God, you said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Call him on his word.
Call him on his word.
Call him on his word.
He ain't gonna get mad with you.
Nope.
He ain't gonna
Nope.
get. He just reminding him because this is what you said, God.
This is what you said, not me.
Okay, this is what you said, and I'm standing on your word. And once we start doing that, I'm telling people just woo.
That's
Tim, we
baby.
can be here all night.
I know. I was getting ready to tell you, baby. I got to get ready to skate.
Yes.
But listen, I love this, Tammy. You know, part 3, say the word. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm ready. But I want to thank everyone. What'd you say, baby?
I said we might have to get you and Scotty up here. We might have to
let's do it. Let's do it. And so listen, I wanted to shout Ty and Scotty out. You know what I'm saying? Team Truth 919, Catch the Kite. Yo, tomorrow we got at Tarboro Road Center, we got Teen Talk Tuesdays, man. Yo, let's empower these kids, man. Y'all let these kids come out, let them speak. You know, let us figure out what's going on and try to lead them in the right direction. We do it every other Tuesday at Tarboro Road Center. You know, like I said, Scotty Barnes, Ty Hinton, and myself, we've been doing this for a minute now, mentoring. You know, to God be the glory. Y'all keep praying for us. You know what I mean? That, you know, we can keep doing this. It ain't easy, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. But, you know, we definitely trying to do our part. So y'all spread the word for us about our teen talks, man. And we got other stuff coming too. You know, we're in Nightdale High School already doing mentoring, hopefully to get into more high schools. We just need more people and we need more help, man. You know, we need people that are, you know, willing to volunteer to get in the trenches with us, man. It's going to take all of us to do this. We just can't do it by ourselves. You know, I mean, back in the day when there was a village, man, whenever one person in the village had a problem, the whole village came together to solve that problem because they would know that they were only strong as the people that they had there, man. So let's get back to it, y'all.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, Tim, I enjoyed this. We had a lot of people go back and watch the comments. Make sure you go back.
I'm gonna go back and watch the comments a little later. Yeah, a little later. I got to go get me something to eat right now. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. The grandbaby's about to come in. So yeah, I got it. All right. Thank you all for joining us. And
listen, love all y'all. Love you. Tammy, you know I love you for life, girl.
I love you, bro. You know it. We locked in. You
already. All right. Love y'all.
Love you too. Good night.
Salute.
All right.